Welcome to the Alignment Show, featuring conversations with folks who have taken steps to identify their highest values and align their lives around them. Time on this earth is not unlimited, and you may be seeking to make sure you spend your time on things that matter to you. These conversations will encourage you and support you in doing so. Now, let's meet this week's guest on the Alignment Show. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the universe. Glad to have you with us this week on the Alignment Show. My name is Don King, and I am your host. As I said, glad to have you on here with us. We've got a guest this week, another one of my friends that I know through the Go Giver Success Alliance, Bob Berg's group, and we'll be bringing her up in just a moment. Want to share a bit of news with you first. It happens that the paint is still drying on this, so if I can get it showing up here. Where's my QR code? Here we are. Yes, medium well is out. Now, I've only shared this with the folks who are subscribers. Of course, if you're seeing this live, then you're probably on that list. Anybody that you want to share it with, it's perfectly welcome to do so. But only for the first week that it's out is there a 25% discount on the price of it, early access, all of that sort of thing. We've been talking about medium well for a while, so regular listeners know what it's about. For those of you who might be new to the show, this is the second book in the Sparklight Chronicles, a business parable, and business parables are designed to use a good story to help you to make your life better somehow. Medium well is looking at the struggles of Sky Jackson as she finds that she is able to provide a channel of communication in ways that she did not expect, and that causes some challenges in her life. So if you're facing challenges, figuring out what your strengths are and how to apply them, then this could be the book for you. So we'll talk more about medium well at another time. But right now, I'm very glad to be able to introduce to you Kim Farber. As I said, I know Kim through the Go Giver Success Alliance group. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is the founder of 1111 Real Estate and 1111 Academy. She is dedicated to empowering others to reach their greatest potential. And so Kim is committed to sharing her knowledge, guiding others on their journey of transformation. That fits really well with what we do here at the Alignment Show. And she helps people to develop a deep connection with their authentic and highest self. She strives to empower others to embrace their full potential and lead heart-centered lives. And I can tell you this is one of the main reasons we wanted to have Kim come on this week. We're going to talk with her about how she got here. Let's go ahead and bring on stage Kim Farber. Kim, thank you for being on the Alignment Show this week.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and congratulations on your book. This sounds amazing. I'm going to be getting it today. It sounds right up my alley.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, Kim. And we have several of our mutual friends who have commented on here. I'm going to share some of them here. There's Debbie Britt saying good morning. And we've got Kathy Tajanel. Hello, looking forward to your conversation. Absolutely. There's Jeff West. We're getting some congratulatory notes here, Kim. I will indulge and show these just real quick on the book. And Jeff West, who wrote the foreword to the predecessor book, The Way of the Three-Year-Old Why. Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate that. And Kim, we've got some great things to say about you as well. Here is another one of our friends, Anna Cancevelos, who was here on the show a few weeks ago. Kim is amazing. And I would agree about that. Kim and Jeff and I've got a pop-up coming up here on my screen. Get rid of that. Anna and Kathy and all these folks have been guests on the show. So you are in good company. Very glad.
Thank you. And hello and good morning to everyone. So great to see you all here as well.
So, Kim, I know a little bit about you because of our mutual connections, a little bit about what you do now. I've got some questions to ask you about how some of this all fits together, but I've realized that we haven't really had a conversation about what has led you to this place. Now we had some casual conversation before starting the recording, But there's always on the alignment show we talk about origin stories. There's, I think, two origin stories at least with you, because you're doing real estate, which I think most people, now, I'm an outsider. I don't know real estate, but my view of it is that it tends to be a very pragmatic, uh, uh, almost hard nosed, kind of industry. And then you also have 1111 Academy, which is not necessarily clear from the name. It's not a real estate academy,
No,
and
it's not.
I can see how they support each other, but on the surface they look very different. So I want to probe both of those origin stories. Did the real estate come first as far as career?
Yes, real
Okay.
estate, I started back in, oh gosh, uh, 2001. So I've been in real estate for many years. I've been a real estate broker for many years and gone through some transitions in that, which actually, led me down the whole path to where I am today. There was some shakeups in my career and in my life that really caused me to dig deep into who I was. And that's why the academy was also um, born, I guess you could say, is that I really wanted to help people who had gone through the transition that I had and the discovery of who I was when my career was no longer everything that I
Hmm.
thought and everything that I had painted. I needed to find out who I really was. And it took me about a good 10 years to really figure that out. And so the academy is where I want to give back and help others discover who they are, so that when they go through challenges in their life, they've got support. They really do know who they are, because when we do, we can really navigate those changes so much easier. And I would like to cut the learning curve for people. For me, it was a good 10 years at least. It doesn't need to take that long. We can really find out who we are, and then uh, makes that a lot easier.
Okay, it makes sense. And in literary terms, it sounds like there was an inciting incident. It wasn't that there was 10 years of challenge, but 10 years of figuring out as a result of the challenge. And I mean, we know that the real estate industry has gone through several cycles. I think we could argue, and if you want to comment on it, you're welcome to, but I think we could argue it's going through another one now.
Oh, we're in it now. We're right in it right now.
Yeah, yeah. And so to have these navigational abilities is important, not only in real estate but in every other industry. What was that first challenge, if you don't mind talking about that? What brought you into that decade?
That first really big challenge was that I had really grown my business. I had become highly successful in that. Um, and all of a sudden, I was no longer in alignment with where we were going. And I started to really feel it in my soul, in my heart. And I needed to make a very important, big decision for myself: was, do I keep going this path, feeling and knowing that it's crushing me from the inside, but financially it's great, I'm successful and everything looks great, but inside I'm crying, and even on the external I was, literally crying as well. And so I had to come to a space where I could leave that, and it was very painful, it was very hard. I had spent a long time building that part of my career. And without the identity that I had built, I kind of got lost for a while.
Mm,
I
mm,
didn't really know who Kim was without the version of myself I had created at that time, which was this, you know, very successful, high powered. I kind of look at her now and I talk about her in third person a little, and it's just because it was a part of me that doesn't really exist anymore. It was a part of me that I created, and it was me, but it also was not me at the same time.
mm.
If that
Yeah,
makes
you've evolution happens right within an individual, no doubt about that. And one of the things I'm curious about, here on the alignment show, we frequently will hear people saying something similar. And what they will do then is maybe they've been a heart surgeon and they quit and become a Japanese gardener or something.
Mhm.
There's something very different. Um, we also will have folks who will go back and remember what brought them into whatever it is they do in the first place and come back to it afresh.
Hmm.
It seems like that you may be sort of a combination of those. You didn't just recommit, but you retargeted within the same profession. Sounds like you brought this to real estate. Is that an accurate way to put it?
Yes, I did think about going off and, onto the mountain and just being in my own world and kind of wanting to get away. I think everybody in their own business at some point probably has that feeling, right? But what kept bringing me back is I really love the people, and I felt I had committed to them, and I wanted to, stay committed to them, and I wanted to do my part to bring a change to this industry that is currently now going through another massive change. And I think there's opportunities for us when we do know who we are. We can kind of stay stable in that. Like, it's like, okay, whatever happens, we're going to be okay because I know who I am and I know my values and I've got that. And, for someone who maybe where I was 12 years ago, this can be very, very stressful because you have tied up everything into this and now it's in an unknown space.
That
So,
whole unknown thing, yeah.
yeah, it's scary. And so I want to make a positive impact in this industry and I want to help my agents become the best version of themselves, and I help give them tools and I watch them flourish and grow within this industry because now they really know who they are and they can bring that to their business, they can bring that to their clients, and it changes even their home lives because now they are in alignment with who they are in their business and in their life. And so it just changes the way that I think we really can do business, and it feels better, it feels more exciting when we actually get to be our true selves.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for folks listening, one of the things about podcasts is they're kind of evergreen. Somebody may come across this in 5 years, 10 years, but even folks listening right now, they may not be quite sure what we're talking about with the current crisis. So rather than me try to paint that in as a layperson, if you wouldn't mind, brief version of what you as a real estate professional see that is happening right now. What is the current crisis?
There's a current crisis right now in the real estate industry in that the way that we have done business for a long time, the headlines will say one thing but isn't always accurate, right?
Right.
It's not completely accurate. Whatever you're reading in the headlines, real estate agents know, but what you're reading in the headlines isn't accurate. We haven't always done, there's a big thing about the percentage of commission and it's been a certain rate, and that's not true. I've been in the business for 20 years plus, and there's never been a set standard. Since I've been in, there's never been, but that's the big headline. So
Mm.
what's changing in the industry for real estate agents is we have a very unique industry in that we cooperate with each other. And so when we say have a listing, we can go and advertise it and say, oh, to another, say, buyer's agent, we're going to give you a percentage of a commission or even a flat fee. That's always been negotiable as well. And we've advertised it on a platform where we all have a membership. And so we can communicate with each other in that way. Well, what's being taken away, and one of the biggest shifts, there's many, for time purposes, I won't go into all the nuances, but the biggest one is that we will no longer be able to advertise the rate of commission we would offer someone on this platform. And that's a really big change that we've got to learn how to navigate, and how will we move forward without this way that we have cooperated with each other for so many years. So I'm sure we'll figure it out, but it might be a bumpy road to get there. So we'll just have to learn new ways. But right now, it feels very scary and unknown for many people because we don't know what it's going to look like yet. So,
Indeed, indeed. And I would even say, from a consumer standpoint, we don't know what this is going to do in terms of our relationships with real
mhm.
estate professionals. We don't know what's going to do really with prices and the market, which is already volatile enough.
Yes. And,
So,
just to add one last thing on that, well, from my end, you can ask as many questions as you want, but, there's a concern for me, and I'm sure in many others, that this really can affect the first time home buyer as well. And that's where we, is in my market, we're in a we've seen a massive increase, as most of the nation has. It's already really tough for first time home buyers to get into homes. And so that's where I see a big, potential issue, is that now these people are just completely out of being able to purchase a home unless we find a good solution that works. It can just make it harder for them. And that's, to me, that's heartbreaking. We love to see people in homes. We want to help them get in homes, and we don't want to make it harder. Our job is to make it as easy as we can to get them and help them. So that's a big challenge that we see as well. So lots of moving parts, lots of things that we're in the industry looking to now find solutions for how we move forward.
Mm-hmm. And so it sounds like it's even more important to have the kind of mindset that the academy focuses on, that your insights. I'm curious, just from a business standpoint. Let's say I am a real estate professional and I'm looking at affiliating with, and I don't know if I'm using the right terminology here, Kim, so be sure and correct me, where I'm wrong. I'm looking to affiliate with a broker. Um, it sounds to me like somebody coming into working with you is going to have a different experience. Uh, the people who would find that attractive are almost automatically going to be attracted to you because of the difference. Do you find that there are a lot of people who are coming to you and saying, I want to be part of this because of what I know you do about mindset and the heart centered thing and all that kind of thing? Or are there people, I'm sure there are people, but do people come to you and they resist that? They just want to sell real estate. Yeah.
If they want to do real estate status quo, and that's great. There's brokerages out there for them. I'm not going to be the perfect fit for everyone, and that's perfectly
Mm-hmm.
okay by me. I really do want to help people who want to do great business, who want to really help their clients, who aren't just about the money. We're not just about the money. There's a lot of money in real estate, and there's nothing wrong with that. With people being successful, I want them to be successful, but I want to help them be successful in all aspects of their life. I want to support them so that, you can be in a place where you're making a lot of money. I've been there. That's what led me down to where we are today. Is I was in a place where I was making great money, but it wasn't fulfilling. Because there were other things that were missing. And I've seen that a lot in this industry, is that, you can be very successful in one aspect, and here another part of your life is falling apart. And so I just want to help people kind of round it out. Like, let's get you to where you're fulfilled in all aspects, not just one. We can't overly compensate over here. And so, yes, I wouldn't say, there's probably people who think I'm a little uh, weird or different, and I'm okay with that, because I really want to be different. I really want to help people in a different way than what has been done. So people who find me, usually that's really going to be the reason why, is they're looking for something different. We're not going to be the same. So
Mm-hmm. Well, what does that do as far as the home buyers? I mean, are they coming to you because they know that you approach the business differently? Or do they find that out after they start working with you? They just picked you. I'm going to date myself.
uh-oh, is it my internet? Let me just message here. We froze, so I don't know if this is on my end and I'm live, or if John's live. We will see. If anyone can hear me. Oh, yes, Don is frozen. Okay, well, I'm hoping he will come back, and we'll see what happens here. We can hear you. Okay, Don has frozen. Okay, well, Don asked me a question, so I will go ahead and answer, and hopefully he will be back. He was asking me a question. We'll just see. We're winging this now. Um, about our home buyers finding us, and we work mainly by referral. And so my goal in helping the agents become the best of themselves is that they communicate that with their clients, and their clients now have a good relationship with them because they know that the person that they're working with isn't just about the money, right? There's a way to help our clients so that we're truly helping them, right? We want the best for our clients. And so that's how our clients will find us. And that's my goal, is to really help them with um, discovering who they are so that they can communicate that with their clients. They can be authentic to themselves and not just, hey, let me just go make a commission. That part of the business, to me, I hope does change. I would love to see that change in our industry. I know that there's a lot of thoughts that people have that that's what we're all about. And I can tell you that's 100% not what everyone is about. We really do have people in this industry who want to do the right thing for their clients. So, well, Don isn't here right now, so we'll keep going, and I hope he comes back here. Does anyone who's on live have any questions? I would be happy to answer any questions, and we'll keep going until hopefully Don comes back. I'll also check my email, see if he's able to make it back. And if not, I can go ahead and talk about Academy. Yes. So we've been talking about real estate, and how I came about with the Academy is that it's really about helping people. Like I said, I went through kind of this area of my life where it was very challenging and I kind of lost who I was. And so with the Academy, my goal is to kind of help people discover that and not have to take 10 years and not have to go and find all these different ways and different avenues. I really want to help people. I'm going to share the things that have worked for me. And so my goal is with the Academy is to help people find themselves personally, professionally, spiritually, become the highest version of themselves. I do that in a couple different ways with the Academy. I've certified as a Gene Keys guide, which if you know me personally, you will have heard me talk about this. This is probably the most transformational thing that I've done. And it really helps us discover who we are. We all have this unique map. And I can see Don coming back. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think my camera is showing. The power went out here. This is the first time this has ever happened during the
Oh
show,
my
Kim.
goodness.
And it's the power is still out here. I managed to get reconnected through my cell phone. So,
Oh my gosh. Well, there's always something new that we can navigate, right?
absolutely. I caught a chat encouragement from somebody. I think it was Jeff West who said something. So I appreciate your professionalism to just soldiering on.
Yeah, we just kind of were like, we're going to keep going. So we were hoping you were going to be able to make it back.
Indeed, indeed. And since I'm reconnected, we can still show your websites, I think. I'm sorry to interrupt what you were saying, but just in case I get knocked off again, let's share. Let's see here. I need to add source and no, that's the wrong button. This is like running a starship sometimes. Okay, so we've got the 1111 real estate. There we are. Gorgeous site here. I hope you're able to see that.
Thank you.
And I like the core values being put right out there up front. And while I'm pulling this along here, I also want to show 1111 Academy. And I noticed that everything is branded at 1111. I'm thinking 11 itself may be significant, or 1111. And for folks who are listening audio only, it is the first 11 is spelled out and the second one is numbers. So it's ELEVEN 11. So 1111 Academy or 1111 Real Estate. So where
Yes.
did that 1111 come from?
1111 was really when I kind of was going through, as you said, I've got many origin stories. I've got many different areas where I've really just had to dig deep into who I was. And at one point, I really started seeing repeating numbers. Some will call them angel numbers, synchronicities, whatever you want to call them. They're little messages that all of a sudden start showing up. And I started seeing 1111 a lot in my life. And it has a very deep meaning. It really means like you're on, I see seeing the numbers 1111 as you're on the right track. It's kind of like a little sign from the universe that, hey, you're seeing this number for a reason. Like it's a reminder to stay connected to yourself. It's a reminder to stay connected to source. And it's just this little sign that you're on the right path. And so when I last year was rebranding basically everything because once again, things were not in alignment and I needed to course correct, then 1111 was what I wanted to call it. Uh-oh, we lost Dawn
No,
again.
no, no,
Oh, you're
no. I
here.
just put
Oh,
myself in the corner. I thought there's
oh,
no
good.
use in having a big black block there, you know. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
You're still here.
yes.
Um, so I wanted to call it 1111, and with 1111 Academy, it was an easy decision. With 1111 Real Estate, it was a little bit. It was really like showing the real estate world that I was going to be different and that it wasn't going to be the same. And so it's been great though because it really does. I feel like in the real estate world, it's kind of like putting out the signal to tell the people who know what that means that there's a friend in the business that they can come to. It's also really great. I get sign calls sometimes of people who do see the repeating numbers 1111, and I've gotten random phone calls from people who see our signs and just say, "I saw your numbers," and they'll call me and tell me their story, and it's been really fun to hear those stories. So 1111 Real Estate and 1111 Academy, even though they're different businesses, they do have a common purpose in helping people be the best version of themselves. And that was for me how they came into alignment with each other is there's that common thread of the 1111. I'm the same in both. I just help people in real estate in one area, and I help people who are ready to kind of dive in deeper with the academy.
Okay, very good. And that, it makes a lot of sense how you bring those things together. For
Mm-hmm.
folks who are able to see on the video, we've got QR codes that make it a little easier. So there is the QR code for, I just said Kim's Real Estate so that people seeing it would know who it's associated with, but this is for 1111realestate.com. Oh, and my lights just came back on, but my camera's still not there. Oh, there it is. Look at there.
Welcome back. Yay.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, as Jeff West commented, the joys of live television. So there we are. Okay. And let's also share the QR code for the Academy. Now, again, I just said Kim's Academy. I love that logo, by the way.
Thank you.
And it is 1111 Academy, all one word, but 11, the first one is spelled out. The second one is the numbers. So ELEVEN 11academy.com for the folks who are listening audio only. Okay, so you probably talked about this while I was off camera, but when people go there, what will they find? I mean, is there an entry point there if folks want to check out a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so on the academy, there's a couple of different things that, and it's also in development, so there will be more being added to that. If they want to do a Gene Keys session, and really a Gene Keys session is you've got a map, and I can help you make sense of your map, basically. And that's a big passion of mine. I really love those sessions. They are so fun for me to really help someone see what's already there. I just kind of help them see it. And so those are just so fun. Um, I also am implementing other sessions, branding sessions. So if someone is in business and they really want to take that map and look at their business, we can do that. And it's really about highlighting, again, who you really are in your business so that you're bringing your natural gifts to your business and you know what those natural gifts are that you have that are, and it's kind of like when you see them, it's what's so fun about that is that they've always been there. I'm not giving someone something that they don't already have. I'm not, doing something that's not already within them, but maybe they just didn't know it, right? It's like when we see it, then we go, "Oh, yes, that is me. That has always been there." And so now they can bring more of that because there's that inner sense of trust of like, this is who I really am. And so I can bring this to my life in a bigger way because it really is who I am. So it just gives them more confidence in that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that
that's
makes a
really
lot of
fun.
sense.
Yeah. And then we do it. I host a call every week where we talk about a key of the week. And so we'll go into what's being highlighted in the energy of the week, and we'll learn about that and how it's impacting our lives of what's going on. And so there's a couple of different things that I do that if somebody really wanted to start to dive in, then there's a few opportunities for them to do that.
Hmm. It just sounds so supportive, is the word that comes to mind here. In fact, one of the questions that occurs to me right now, let's do a thought experiment. Kind of, you've got somebody who is new, and we're not going to put any real specific person, on the spot here, but
Mm-hmm.
somebody who is new with your company. Maybe they're new to real estate. uh, they kind of knew this thing was coming because the litigation behind it's been going on for a while. But still, knowing something is coming and then have it come to fruition, there's got to be some angst there. What is one thing that you could say to a person like that from within the 1111 Academy approach? What's one thing that you could say that would help to not so much calm them, but to shift the energy from fear into excitement? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it makes 100% sense. We talk about that every week. Oh, sorry about that. We
This is
talk
one of
about
those
that.
shows today,
We're
Kim.
having a fun time. We got all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, we talk about how moving from basically fear every single week back into the heart. And
Mm,
so, if someone is right now in a space of fear because there's this unknown and we don't know what's going to happen, let's come back into the heart space. Let's come back into that who we really are, which my belief is our heart is who we really are, right? And so, it's coming back into that. And even though there's a lot of unknown, there's a lot of opportunities. With when there's change, there's opportunity. And so this is our opportunity to get better at what we do, get better at communicating, discover who you really are, communicate that to others, because that's where we can move from. There's things that are happening for a reason. And yes, it's a big shakeup, but let's go now. Let's elevate ourselves. Let's get into a better place. Let's change this industry for the better. Yes, it's a little scary, but there's also so much opportunity for us to make it better. So let's focus on that and not the fear. So
mm.
that's what I would tell someone.
Wonderful, wonderful. And useful not only for real estate professionals, but for all of us. Absolutely. I'm seeing some conversation here. I think it's Anna has highlighted one of your quotes with change is opportunity. Yeah, wonderful. So, one of the things that, as we're coming down to the end of our time together here, one of my favorite questions is always to ask. There's probably something that you wish that I had asked that I didn't. What would
Mm.
that be? And what would your answer to that be?
Oh my gosh. Um,
Not trying to put you on the spot, but this is opportunity. Our friend Yermi Kirkus has a great way of putting it, and that is if you could stand up on the rooftop and shout a message to the world, what would that message be?
oh,
Uh,
that one's a little
yeah,
easier. Yeah, because
Yeah, and
when
I'm stealing that, Yermy. But you know what you can take both of those however you want to, Kim.
I love the second one because, as we talked before, I have a hard time talking really about myself. But if I'm talking about how I can help other people, that is so easy. What I would shout from the rooftops is that, if I could, is that, excuse me, we have everything that we need within us. We have the ability to be everything that we want. It's already there. And so it's just a process of rediscover it, sometimes unlearning what we've been told, or maybe we even told ourselves about who we are, coming back to that heart space and really reconnecting with our true and authentic selves, and then starting to live from that place. There's so much freedom in that, because even when there's change, even when there's things going on, it's calming to know that I got me, because I know who I am. And so even if all these things change, I still know who I am. And so when we're connected with that, we realize we can get through so much more than we think we can.
Okay.
And in the
Word.
Gene Keys, he talks about how, um, when we go through pain, and right now, if we talk about real estate, there's some pain. But when we go through pain, we come back to the heart. And that's the way to get back to it. And so we've got to open that door and go through, rather than try to like run everywhere else. It's like we go there and it's the short route. And then we're like, oh, perfect. Okay, I went through it and it wasn't fun. Nobody's like signed me up for this painful experience. But when we actually have the courage to open that door and move through that pain, whatever it is that we're experiencing, and we all go through it, then we're able to navigate that and then learn about who we really are. So that would
Indeed.
probably be the
As
shortest.
Kathy has commented here, so beautifully said, Kim, and that really is, especially for
Thank you.
just
Oh,
being
thank
put
you.
on the spot. I mean, it's just right there. So, oh my. Well, this has been a fascinating conversation today, in and of itself, Kim. And then working all around our tech issues. We're not going to edit any of this stuff out. I mean, this is just real life. And in fact, you have modeled managing the unexpected. So that's a skill not only for a podcast, but for real estate and for life. I really appreciate you sharing this. I'm going to emphasize once again, folks, to check out 1111academy.com. If you have any trouble with remembering how to spell that or whatever, confidencecultivators.com is where you can find the show notes, and we will share those links in the show notes. Confidencecultivators.com. So, Kim, if you'll hang out in the green room for just a second so I can thank you properly. Want to go ahead and wind things up today, but thank you for being here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone's support, and I appreciate you having me on the show to share something that I'm just so passionate about. So thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely love the passion. And we've got, I'm going to go ahead and show here Kathy's comment, and I think Kim can still see this. Thanks for sharing your heart so authentically. Both of you handle the disruption so professionally. And thank you, Kathy. She says, I appreciate the great questions you ask. This is what I love about this show. I get to have conversations with people that I wouldn't otherwise get to talk with. And so I'm looking at the calendar. I think I know who our guest is next week, but I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly, because this is another one of those conversations that I would not otherwise have gotten to have. So, not saying on the calendar right now, but I'm almost certain that what we have next week is a conversation with an author named Wolf Moon. Isn't that a great name? Yeah, and Wolf has had quite a story getting to where he is. We're not just going to be talking about writing, but what he went through to get where he is. An abusive childhood, winning writing contests in high school, figuring out how to do that, not really believing in his own success and almost sinking it all, and then sharing his methods with other writers. I'm looking forward to that conversation next week. For sure, we will be having multiple in-depth conversations with people, just like you heard today, about how people bring their lives into alignment with their values. That's what we're all about here at the Alignment Show, supporting your journey in reaching the place that you want to be. As we say around here, we want to support you in living your values so that you can value your life. And we look forward to seeing you next week on the Alignment Show. That's it for this week's episode of The Alignment Show. What has it inspired you to do in your own life? Whatever it is, take action now and take the first step. It will help you to talk with a friend about what you're thinking. Share confidencecultivators.com to spread the goodness. And remember to live your values and value your life. We will see you next week on The Alignment Show.